Hey guys, I finally got back from doing the 2-week Ruck March, and it was quite an amazing experience. It was really cool to see all of the support that was out there for the wives, for the military. We were in some really back country towns, and people came out of the woodwork. They brought donations, they brought food. We had a woman giving us Snicker bars as we're trying to get to our next destination. So I'm throwing Gatorades and snacks into my backpacks. That way we can make it to the next turnover point. But it was a great overall experience. I think it was very therapeutic for the wives, probably as well as some of the guys who were team members with the fallen. The interesting part is when you go to these rural towns, there is nothing to eat there other than your fast food joints, Waffle House, all that fun stuff. So we did not have very many vegetable or healthy options. We were also changing hotels, dorm rooms. We stayed at a couple college universities every single night. So with that said, we weren't able to really plant roots. We were driving a lot from one hotel. We would move up an hour and a half in the car to the next one, so that way the next morning or night, whenever we did our next leg, we were only having to drive 30 minutes versus perhaps 2 hours to get to our next spot. There was a lot of moving parts. We did what we could. We ultimately had to pretty much eat out every single meal, though. Like I said, it's not like we were staying in a spot where you could make food. We were staying at Super 8s and Days Inn and dorm rooms. Dorm rooms were actually nicer, now that I think about it, in comparison to some of the hotels we stayed at. But there wasn't much available in regards to being able to cook for yourself. The closer we got to civilization, the better off we were. Once we hit Atlanta, we had quite a few options, and when we could, in the small towns, we would try to eat something that was a bit on the healthier side, just to kind of cleanse our bodies of everything else we were throwing down the hatch. The good part about it all is that we were extremely active. We were walking on average 8 miles every 18, at least in the beginning, hours, to probably closer to 22 hours towards the end of our journey, just because everyone was so tired from walking. The time slowed. So we were burning quite a few calories. Therefore, we got away with a lot more than I would normally be able to get away with. I did not track at all. I didn't even try. After the first day you're there, we realized, all right, this is pretty much how it's going to be, at least for most of the journey. So I kind of made sure I ate enough protein, ate enough carbs to sustain energy. And fat was heavily reliant on where we were eating, how they were preparing the food. And most likely I probably consumed a little bit more than I normally would, just because we were eating out a lot, and a lot of restaurants will prepare your food with fat, or it's cooked in some type of fat. So what happens if you are traveling and you just don't have a lot of options available to you? And I know most of you, when you travel for work, you're traveling to places that have a lot of options. So this might not pertain to that situation. A lot of the places around, you will have healthy options, you will have a grocery store, you're probably staying at a place that allows you to use a refrigerator, a microwave. But if you are in those rare situations where you don't have any of that available to you, just be mindful. You might have to eat less food overall because of the higher caloric content of the food you are eating. Try to move as much as you can. By remaining active, you are still burning more calories than if you were to eat the same food and sit around all day. And make sure you get enough sleep. Sleep plays a huge role in your body's ability to recover, help produce healthy hormones, and not retain extra water weight. Most of you will probably enjoy the article below as it pertains to what most of you are going to experience versus something as crazy as this. But if you do find yourself in a similar situation, those are my 3 tips. If you guys have any other questions pertaining to how the ruck went, let me know. I'd love to fill you in, and I hope you guys have a great week.